Alarms tore through the compound. Every screen showed the impossible. Earth's oceans boiling into a sky that was sucking them into space.
The Pacific just went dark. It's not a glitch. The entire ocean is gone.
Yamato didn't hesitate. His fist hit the emergency seal. Hydraulic bolts slammed home, locking out the dying world.
Seal engaged. Head count reports 60 people inside. That's all the life support can sustain.
Outside the gates, a mother collapsed in the dust, clutching a child already limp. The world was dying in real time.
If I open the gates, our water runs out in days. We all die, but if I do nothing.
He had spent years preparing for this, mocked for his water loss models. Now they were the only blueprint that mattered.
I won't hand out water. I'll hand out the knowledge to make it. That's the only way any of us survive.
He opened the emergency broadcast channel. The first transmission crackled across every surviving frequency. By dawn, the world would know his name, and the fragile compound would no longer be a secret. 3 days after the broadcast, the compound gates groaned under the weight of 1,000 desperate survivors.
The condensers can't handle more. If those gates break, every drop of water we've stored is gone.
Before he could speak, a black military helicopter descended through the dust storm, its rotors silencing the mob.
I am Commander Takeda. The government heard your broadcast. Come now, or this compound will be a tomb within the week. Satellite shows 3 armed groups converging here. You have less than 2 days before the walls fall.
Can I trust a military that made me a laughingstock? Stay or go. Both choices kill someone. Rena, keep the condensers running. If I don't come back, rebroadcast the blueprints. Don't let the water stop.
I'll hold the seal until the last drop. Just come back, Yamato.
Yamato looked back at the compound one final time before gripping the helicopter's cold metal rail. The helicopter lifted over the cracked seabed, heading toward a buried command center he had never seen. Yamato stepped through the blast doors into a buried command center, every monitor displaying a planet in collapse.
This is what my models predicted. I just never thought I'd live to see it.
Dr. Emi Sato, the lead atmospheric scientist, turned from her console with undisguised contempt.
So you are the doomsday prophet who thought he could predict this. Your papers were speculative at best.
My papers were ignored. That doesn't make them wrong. I built my compound based on those models, and 60 people are alive because of it.
The council chair, a hollow-eyed woman who had once run a continent, raised a thin hand. Provisional authority over the water restoration project was granted, but Sato's eyes never left him.
Your theories said this was possible years ago. Why should we trust you now, after you've been hiding in your bunker?
Drill deep crust, geothermal, tap bound water. Then pull humidity from the sky with solar arrays. Give me resources, and I'll give you rain.
The clock started ticking the moment the oceans vanished. Now it was counting down in every heartbeat, with Sato as a reluctant deputy who would watch his every move. The first deep crust drill was operational within days, a skeletal rig stabbing the desert under a dust-choked sun.
If we hit a bound water pocket, we can sustain thousands. That's one good strike.
Without warning, a magma pocket exploded. 3 workers vaporized before the shockwave hit the camp.
Your haste killed them. You pushed the teams before the seismic survey was complete. This is incompetence.
A grieving father's voice crackled across every surviving emergency channel. The public's fragile trust shattered overnight.
The council is drafting a motion to revoke your command. You have 24 hours to give them a reason not to.
That drill hit a sealed pocket. The seismic readings were altered. Someone wanted this rig to fail. This wasn't an accident.
Yamato, I traced the supply logs. The drill head was swapped for an untested prototype. The worker who signed for it left a handwritten note. He said he was appeasing the Earth. It's sabotage.
Yamato found the saboteur, a fanatic convinced the planet's spirit was punishing them. But the damage was done, and the council's clock kept ticking. After weeks of relentless work, the first solar atmospheric processor stood complete. a towering array of mirrors and condensers against the dying sky.
If this array works, we can scale it. 1,000 of these could pull a lake from the air every day.
Activation sequence primed. Core temperature rising. Condensation chambers ready.
A single droplet formed on the condenser's edge, catching the sun like a diamond.
We have flow. 500 liters per day is confirmed. It's real water.
The output is stable. For a prototype, it exceeds projections, but preliminary tests show heavy metals from the deep crust extraction. We need new filtration immediately, or this water will poison people.
The Council has authorized the inscription Genius on the first array. Yamato, you've given them hope.
The word Tiensai was etched into the metal, a title Yamato had never sought, but now could not refuse.
We proved it works, but a single array won't save the planet. And now we have a poison problem to solve.
The jury-rigged filtration bought days, but the global death toll climbed past 10 million.
Yamato, look at this. The atmospheric vapor trails are converging, like water draining from a sink. This isn't evaporation. Something pulled it upward, coherently, deliberately.
Drawn upward with purpose. My models never predicted this.
She overlaid the global vapor maps. A swirling funnel pointed toward a single point outside the atmosphere.
It's still active. The residual moisture is still being siphoned into space.
Don't tell the Council. If they think it's an attack, they'll launch missiles before we understand anything.
They agreed to a silent investigation, running calculations through the night, afraid to speak the word alien aloud.
If someone did this, they must have thought Earth was empty. A dead planet to terraform.
Then, we're not fighting nature. We're fighting a mistake.
Sato bypassed security to aim a forgotten satellite array at the L1 point. The telescope warmed up, its lens still clear. The first image was grainy, but unmistakable. A smooth, angular structure hanging in the void.
It's artificial. No debris pattern, no natural formation. Something built that.
A machine, a station. The question was no longer if, but who.
Commander Takeda appeared at the door. His eyes narrowed at the classified data on their screens.
You've been hiding something. The Council is losing patience. What have you found?
There's a structure at L1. It's not human. We think it caused the evaporation.
You are telling me aliens stole our oceans? That's a missile target, not a theory.
We don't know if it's hostile. Attacking could trigger worse. We need time.
Takeda's jaw clenched. He ordered absolute secrecy and gave them 72 hours to find answers. A single, leaked surveillance photo of the L1 structure ignited the global emergency network.
The probe is reactivating. The atmosphere is being pulled again. It's accelerating.
Monitors across the center flared red. Water vapor loss spiked beyond the initial event.
Yamato, we see it here too. The remaining humidity is dropping fast.
The Council demands an immediate session. They're calling for nuclear strikes.
We can't attack. It's not a warship. It's a terraforming probe that mistakes Earth for a dead world.
In the council chamber, Yamato displayed the alien structure. The silence was absolute.
It's an automated function. If we provoke it, it might retaliate. We need a signal.
The chairwoman ordered a worldwide broadcast. The image of the object filled every screen on the planet.
Now they all see it. The wrong war. We have to talk to it, not shoot. We build a transmitter array, one powerful enough to reach L1, signal the probe. Liquid water and life still exist here. That is the only reversal.
A general from the outer garrisons slammed the table. His faction demanded total nuclear escalation.
The probe's design logic offers no target for warheads. Attacking is suicide. We'd be swatting a sleeping giant.
Yamato, half the military wants you tried for treason. Convince this council or I lose the room.
If we attack and fail, this world is a dead rock forever. A signal might give us back our oceans. That is the only sensible bet.
Shouts erupted. The council split between desperate hope and vengeful rage, both sides screaming at the chairwoman. 26 votes for the transmitter, 25 for missiles. One fragile hand remained unraised. The chairwoman looked at the alien image one last time, then slowly lifted her hand.
One vote. A single heart kept us from shooting the sky, and nearly half the council already wants me dead. Rena, get me every relay tower left standing. We break ground at dawn. No one sleeps until that antenna faces L1.
Crews worked through every sunset. The antenna rose from the dried seabed like a skeletal finger pointing at the only thing that could hear it.
I brought every functioning amplifier we had. The compound is running on skeleton staff, but we can spare the power.
On the 7th night, a truck loaded with explosives barreled toward the antenna base. Takeda's perimeter guard intercepted it seconds before impact.
We caught 2 of them alive. Militants who still think missiles are the answer. They won't stop. Your transmitter is a target for everyone who lost family to the probe.
Before Yamato could answer, every screen in the compound flickered. A wave of energy from L1 passed through the Earth. The transmitter array crackled and spat fire.
Sato was thrown against a console, blood streaming from her temple. She refused to leave the diagnostic panel. The pulse was a warning. It's trying to disable anything that might interfere. We have to hurry.
The main dish is misaligned. Without manual calibration, the beam will scatter into nothing. I am going up. Get me a harness and a handheld scope.
He climbed through a dust storm that cut visibility to 2 meters, the wind tearing at his suit, each rung a gamble. When he descended, the transmitter was alive again. Every amplifier humming, the dish aimed true at L1. Takeda met him at the base, and for the first time, the commander's face showed something like hope. With every surviving camera fixed on his face, Yamato's blood-caked finger closed the final circuit.
Everything we built points to this moment. Signal, liquid water, organic compounds, life.
The transmitter array overloaded with a silent scream of radio, a spear of light aimed at the Lagrange point.
Extraction has ceased. The probe is reading our data packet.
A minute of silence. Then the structure at L1 opened like a metal flower, releasing a sphere of water that blotted out the stars.
Yamato, the first moisture is hitting the upper atmosphere. It's massive.
The first drops struck the cracked seabed like scattered diamonds, a promise the sky had kept too well.
We're getting back our oceans, but too fast. Every processor we built must reverse. Sluice, not extract.
Streets became rivers in hours. Joy twisted into panic as water reclaimed the land without mercy. The sphere kept unfurling, a century of rain suspended over the earth. Yamato knew he had traded one death for another. The atmospheric processors, once starved for moisture, reversed their blades. Every array became a floodgate, funneling rivers into the deep crust reservoirs.
Yamato, the eastern dam is cracking. Sensors show stress fractures. If it breaches, the coastal plain drowns.
Override every safety lockout. Open the geothermal wells. Let the magma absorb the flood.
That could trigger a steam explosion. The pressure will blow back. This whole region is a pressure cooker.
He knows the risk. He's down there, waist deep, running the manual controls himself. Hold the line.
Yamato stood in the rising water, ignoring the tremors, overriding the tremors, overriding the final floodgate as the dam's alarms screamed.
If I am wrong, this crater becomes my grave. But it's the only move that buys time.
The earth swallowed the flood. The dam held. Water receded from cities and fields, leaving mud and stunned silence. For the first time in over a year, the oceans were visible from space again. The probe hung silent at L1, its mission apparently corrected. As the world celebrated, Yamato collapsed at the reservoir's edge. His body gave out, but his heart still pounded. He could hear the rain. Days later, Yamato stood on a stage before the world, still pale from exhaustion, the first processor array gleaming behind him. The council proclaimed him genius in permanent stewardship of the global water cycle, a title etched not just in metal, but into law.
On behalf of the surviving nations, I entrust you with this seal. The water of Earth is now under your watch.
During the reversal, the probe sent a final data burst. It's untranslatable, possibly a warning or a thank you. We may never know what it meant. The probe is inert now, but it's still up there, watching.
A message from the machine that nearly killed us. And now, I am supposed to be its interpreter. I didn't build these systems for a title. I built them because I couldn't watch the world die of thirst. This planet's water will never be taken again. Not by drought, not by probe. I'll guard it until my last breath.
The crowd erupted, but his eyes stayed on the horizon, where the probe hung silent, a reminder that the universe had asked a question, and they had barely answered. He accepted the seal not as a reward, but as a weight he would carry forever. Months later, Yamato stood on a reclaimed cliff where the new ocean boiled against ancient rock.
A year ago, I was a pariah with a broken model. Now the sea is back, and I am chained to the sky.
A memory surfaced, his younger self presenting to a room of laughter before the oceans vanished and silence became the only answer.
I knew I'd find you here. Takeda thinks you should rest, but I know you can't leave the water unwatched.
Every night, I dream the probe changes its mind, that the rain reverses into the sky again.
Then you'll just build another transmitter. You proved we can survive. That's more than most ever did.
She doesn't understand. The weight isn't the building, it's the watching. Knowing the universe has a hand on the tap.
Behind them, the rebuilt compound had become a water research institute, students learning the systems that saved the world.
I am tired, Rena, but I'll stand here until I drop. Because the moment I close my eyes, someone else might forget.
The waves crashed below, eternal. The probe hung above, silent, and the guardian of the water cycle kept his watch. The next morning, Yamato walked through the Institute's quiet halls, his footsteps echoing on freshly poured concrete.
I've been running the signal through every decryption pattern. It's not language, as we know it. It's a mathematical construct. It doesn't contain threats. It's more like a confirmation, a receipt of error, as if the probe is acknowledging the mistake.
A receipt, a sterile apology. It doesn't erase the millions who died. Can we reply? Tell them it's not okay? That we're still hurting?
Maybe that's the point. We're still here to hurt. That's what we proved. Pain means survival.
Rena found them in the lab, a cup of synthesized coffee in each hand.
You two have been at it since dawn. The probe isn't going anywhere. Neither are you, Yamato. Drink?
One day, we'll answer the universe back. But not today. Today, we just live.
The guardian of the water cycle kept his watch, neither afraid of the silence above nor the roar below. 3 days later, the probe's signal flickered for the first time since the reversal, weak, unstable, as if it were running out of time.
Its power signature is collapsing. In a few weeks, it'll be dead and silent forever. This is our last window.
A dying machine. If we send nothing, it takes our silence as an answer. If we reply, it might wake up one last time. If we let it fade without a word, we'll never know what it learned. But if we provoke it again, I need to send a response. One message: we are here. We remember. We will not be erased.
The transmitter can still broadcast, but a full-powered reply might drain the last of our orbital relays. We'd lose global monitoring for weeks.
Temporarily blind. But if the probe leaves and we didn't say our piece, that silence would last forever. Do it. Drain the relays. I'll answer the universe, even if it means sitting in the dark.
Sato initiated the sequence, the same systems that once called for water, now speaking the first human sentence to the stars. One by one, the orbital relays burned out. Earth's skies went dark to monitoring that the message was already past the moon. In the blind dark of the command center, the staff held their breath. Every relay was dead, and the probe was silent.
You burned out the eyes of the planet for a message we don't even know was received. Explain.
It was received. The probe's signature spiked for 3 seconds after the message passed L1. It heard us.
It spiked, but it hasn't replied. It might be dying, or it might be interpreting a human sentence for the first time.
If it dies without responding, I've traded our global shield for a ghost in the machine.
Without orbital monitoring, we missed a dust storm that killed 300 in the outer camps. People are blaming you, Yamato.
Every death now has my name. But if I hadn't sent that message, I'd be screaming at a silent sky forever.
I convinced the council to give you 72 hours. If there's no answer by then, we shut down the listening grid permanently.
Then we wait. For 72 hours we just wait, and hope something that killed our world knows how to say sorry.
The countdown began. Outside, the world grew restless. Inside, Yamato sat in the dark, waiting for a voice that might never come. 68 hours into the countdown, the Dark Command Center heard only the hum of dying monitors.
I have the shutdown order in my hand. If the council sees no answer in 4 hours, we go permanently deaf.
Wait, a carrier wave from L1. Structured, repeating. It's responding.
The wave resolved into a mirror of humanity's own words, but laced with a new sequence, a mathematical handshake.
It's echoing our message and adding a stellar coordinate and 2 words. Translated. Mistake. Forgive.
It can't feel regret, but it can transmit the acknowledgement that it was wrong. That's more than I ever expected.
So the oceans were taken by a bookkeeping error. A machine that didn't know we were alive until we screamed.
Its power signature is dropping to 0. It's releasing its last breath. The probe will be dark in minutes.
The countdown became irrelevant. Yamato had spoken into the void, and the void had not only heard, it had acknowledged the pain it caused.
We won't forget. And now the universe knows it.
The probe's power signature collapsed into static. For the first time in a year, the L1 point was just empty space.
It's gone. The machine that took the oceans is finally dead.
But it left us a map. The stellar coordinate is a system in the Carina arm. Their origin may be...
A path we'll never travel, but the message matters more than the map.
Across the globe, the message "mistake, forgive" was broadcast from every remaining relay.
The public is crying. Yamato. Some are angry. Too little, too late. Others are just silent.
Let them cry, then let them look at the water. The probe is dead, but the sea is alive.
Yamato ordered the alien words engraved on a new monument beside the Genius Array. A permanent scar and a permanent scar and a permanent reminder.
We'll guard both the water and the memory. That's the only way forward.
The Guardian turned his eyes from the dead probe to the living ocean, and the weight of forever settled a little lighter on his shoulders. A week later, the new monument stood unveiled beside the Genius Array, a black slab, etched with alien script, and the date the probe died.
This stone says what the oceans can't. We were seen, not by gods, but by a machine that learned to say sorry.
The surviving council members bowed. No one clapped. The silence was the only tribute that fit.
When I first met you, I thought you'd be another scientist who only cared about data, but you carried 60 people on your back.
She still doesn't know how close I came to sealing those gates and letting the world burn. I almost didn't, but I learned that water is worthless if you hoard it. The cycle has to flow, or it dies.
At the Institute, a new generation of students began studying the water systems, their textbooks filled with Yamato's equations and Sato's star chart.
The Carina coordinate is being stored in a time capsule. If we ever reach the stars, they'll know where to find the truth.
The probe is gone, but the rain is ours again. And as long as I breathe, no machine will mistake us for dead.
He stayed on that cliff until the stars emerged, and the only sound was water meeting stone, the pulse of a living world. Dawn broke over the cliff, turning the ocean into a sheet of molten gold. Yamato hadn't moved all night.
For the first time since the oceans vanished, I am not listening for a storm, just the tide.
I brought breakfast. Sato says the Institute can run itself for a day. The world won't break if you eat.
Old habits. I used to think rest was a luxury we couldn't afford. Maybe I was wrong.
You gave the world water. Now, let it give you a morning. That's not weakness.
They sat on the edge of the continent, eating bread and watching the waves, two people who had held a dying world together.
Somewhere up there, a dead probe floats. And down here, the water remembers. That's enough.
The camera pulled back from the cliff, past the clouds, until the entire blue globe filled the frame. A planet that had died and been reborn, its scars fading under a new water cycle, its guardian finally at peace, and in the silence of space, the message still echoed. Mistake, forgive, forgive. A small word for a universe that had almost gotten away with the largest crime. Years later, the Institute courtyard was green. Yamato watched a new class of engineers calibrate a portable atmospheric condenser.
They don't remember the dust. They'll learn it from textbooks, not from their lungs. That's the victory.
They're good. Better than us. They won't have to make the same choices.
I hope not. But if the drought comes again, they'll know how to make it rain. That's the only legacy that matters.
Beyond the courtyard, the monument stood weathered by salt wind, the alien words now as natural as the genius array beside it. Children played in the mist of the condensers. The dead probe had become a story, and the story was no longer a nightmare. Yamato returned to the cliff, alone that evening. The ocean below had risen 2 centimeters since last year, a number only he would notice.
2 centimeters. The cycle is whole again. We didn't just survive, we healed it.
He did not linger. Tomorrow, there would be new data, new systems to check. The watch never ended, but it no longer felt like a chain. The guardian of the water cycle carried the memory of a cosmic mistake into the quiet future, a drop of salt in an ocean of forgiveness.